Hello everyone. This is Assistant Professor Dharam Unarkad welcomes you all to the subject Effective Technical Communication. As we know, we are moving with the module number 5, that is etiquettes. In the last video, we have covered the topic learning to say no. In that video, we have covered how to say no in the corporate world and why it is important. Today, we will go with the same topic and then we will switch over to the next topic, that is respecting privacy. So, today, first we will learn to say no in a good way. There are some strategies how you say no to the corporate world, but it looks like a good impression. So let's see one by one and how you will form the sentence to say no in a good way. I will say that first is the vague but effective. Like you will say like, thank you for asking, but that isn't going to work out for me. This way you form the sentence and say no to the other person. The next way is ask me later. I want to do that, but I am not available these days. Will you ask me again then? This way you form the sentence and say no to the other person. Next is keep trying. None of those dates work for me, but I would love to see you. Send me some more dates. The next way is gratitude. Like, thank you so much for your enthusiasm and support. I am sorry, I am not able to help you at this time. This way you form the sentence and say no to the other person. The next way is gracious. I really appreciate you asking me, but time is already committed. The next way is I know someone else. I just don't have time right now. Let me recommend someone who may help you. So this way you form a sentence and suggest a name which helps that person. Next is I am sorry. I wish I could, but it's just not going to work right now. I am sorry. This way you form a sentence and say no in a good way. The next way is setting boundaries, which is very much important. For example, you form a sentence like, let me tell you what I can do. Then limit the commitment to what will be comfortable to you. Limit your boundaries, set your boundary and then reply to that person. And last one is not no but not yes. If any person ask for your help, then you don't have to reply no but not even yes. You give the answer like, let me think about it and I will get back to you. Between that time you think about your reply and then call him or give him a reply in some time. So this is the various ways you will say no, but it's in a good way. Now let's have a look on what happens when we are not able to say no. We have learned that how to say no, but if we are not able to say no, especially in the corporate world, how we have to suffer. So the first is we end up wasting time, which we may have utilized in doing activities of our own priorities. Next, we are not able to meet our deadlines and are always in a crisis. If we not able to say no, we are not accomplish our own deadlines and we are in crisis. The next way is even though we may have helped other people, but it is not necessarily mean that we will be in a good books of others. Because of our habit of giving priority to other people's priority, we end up missing our deadline and it creates a bad impression. And last, as we start seeing that our own work remains unfinished. If we are not able to say no, you have noticed that our own work remain unfinished and we go into the reassessment and it becomes a vicious cycle. Thus, these are the ways we have to suffer if we are not able to say no. Again, if the people are, why the people are not able to say no, why they hesitate to say no, and this is in the previous videos we have learned why to say no. So let's see some points why people are not able to say no. The first is we are vulnerable as far as our human relations are concerned, because we have need of acceptance, of importance, and of sense of belonging. We don't say no. We feel that if we say no, the other persons will be offended, and what will that person think of me? This is why the people are not able to say no. Again, we have a strong ego sense, where we consider ourselves to be always helpful to others. Because of this strong attachment to our thought of being helpful, we don't say no. We are not aware of our own priorities, because we never visualized our goals or planned for it. So if you are not visualize your goal, you don't have your own plans, you end up the priorities of others. We are guided by our impulse or desire rather than our set principles. This happens because we have actually not set our principles. And last is the lack of power of taking decision. This last point is very much important in today's world. The today's generation don't have power of taking the decisions, and that's why he can't able to say no. So this is how the people are not able to say no. So here we end up the topic learning to say no. In the previous lectures we have started this topic, in which we have covered that how to say no, why it is important to learn to say no, and today we started with some points to say no in a good way, and then the two subtopics. So this is how this topic is important, learning to say no. Now moving with the next topic, that is respecting privacy. Respecting privacy is very much important in today's world. To respect privacy is the fundamental concept of many societies. People have a right to peaceful enjoyment without being disturbed or harassed by others. And why privacy is important to your business? If you have a small business, you may be asking yourself why the privacy is important. Don't assume you are safe from hackers because you aren't a global enterprise. Take steps now to implement a business data protection across your company now. If you are the small business even, but start with the steps to implement a business data protection, which is very much important. Data is very much important even in the small business as well as in the larger big business. Data helps you optimize your operations and maintain accurate records. It can also help you to serve customers more effectively. Data gives you a competitive advantage, and it's a necessary tool in today's business environment. But not all the data is useful. Some of it gets old and becomes obsolete. So as we have discussed, the data is very much important, and to keep it private is more important than it. Delete obsolete data periodically to protect your business. If you have printed records that are no longer useful, you should shred or dispose of them off-site. So this is why privacy matters. Let's discuss again why privacy matters, but this is how it is important. So let's have the 7 reasons why privacy matters. First is limit on power. Privacy is a limit on government power as well as the power of private sector's companies. The more someone knows about us, the more power they can have over us. And in the wrong hands, personal data can be used to cause us great harm. So privacy has also limit on the government power. So it is important why privacy matters. Next is trust. In relationship, whether personal, whether we are talking about the professional, governmental or commercial, we depend upon trusting other party. So even the privacy is matters for the give the trust. Next is the reputation management. Privacy enables people to manage their reputations. How we are judged by others affects our opportunities, friendship and overall well-being. In today's generation, reputation is important, and for that you have to be private in many ways. Knowing private details about people's life doesn't necessarily lead to more accurate judgment about people. People judge badly, they judge in the haste, they judge out of context, they judge without hearing the whole story, and they judge with hypocrisy. So these are the ways why the privacy matters to increase the reputation management. Next is respect for individual. If a person has a reasonable desire to keep something private, it is disrespectful to ignore that person's wishes without a compelling reason to do so. Next is ability to change and have second chance. Many people are not static. They change and grow throughout their lives. Not many, but most of us. There is a great value in the ability to have a second chance, to be able to move beyond a mistake, to be able to rejuvenate oneself. Sixth is freedom of thoughts and speech. Privacy is a key to freedom of thoughts. A watchful eye over overthinking we read or watch can chill us from exploring ideas outside the mainstream. And the last topic of privacy matters is maintaining appropriate social boundaries. People establish boundaries from others in society. These boundaries are not physical and informal. Most people don't want everybody to know everything about them. Hence, the phrase we are using is none of your business. We are using this phrase that it's none of your business. So this is how you will keep the privacy with the societies. So these are the 7 topics why privacy matters. Limit on power, trust, reputation management. To increase the reputation, we will keep some data or our personal life private. Respect for individual, ability to change and have the second chance, freedom of thoughts and speech, and maintaining appropriate social boundaries. So today we have covered 2 topics, that is we end up the first topic, learning to say no. We have started that topic in the previous video and end up in this video, and then we have covered the next topic, that is respecting privacy, why privacy matters in the corporate world. With why privacy matters, we have covered 7 points, and the more topics of module 5, that is etiquettes, will be further discussed in the upcoming videos. Thank you.